What's up, everyone? It is Mr. I'm back again with a collection update. Got a bit of everything: tapes, CDs, vinyl, and genre-wise, this is a bit all over the place. Kind of displays the type of stuff I listen to, because I don't just listen to metal all the time, despite the fact that's primarily what I talk about on this channel. Got some black metal, some pop, some hardcore, and some death metal for this video. Hopefully it doesn't turn you away. First up, I'm going to talk about this promotional tape here. This is Stormkeep with Promotional Tape 2018, self-released by them. This band features the drummer of Wayfarer and Blood Incantation, which is how I found out about this band. It's just 2 songs, and I'm pretty sure they just dubbed this onto a cassette, because if you can see the spool right there, you know, that's a whole lot longer than 10 minutes. And once the 2 songs are done, it just runs completely dry, blank for the rest of it. And then there's nothing on the B-side either. Like I said, self-released by the band last year. I got this through Tour de Garde. They might still have some copies there. And the first song, Lightning Frost, is melodic black metal, kind of similar to a band like, I think it's Soul Dissolution. I got their album from the Metalhead box last year, and I really enjoyed that. And then the second song, I believe is pronounced Drycraft. There's the track listing up top there. That's an ambient track, kind of similar to, for lack of a better comparison, I guess, Blood Incantation. If you got the tape version of Live Vitrification, which I did a video on not too long ago, there was an ambient side on the B-side, just on the tape. I know Blood Incantation's on the Decibel magazine tour right now, and they're selling the vinyl version of it, but the B-side doesn't have the ambient side. So the second song on Stormkeep's tape is kind of like that, except without any spoken word at all. And I definitely do recommend this. It's some solid black metal. From my lack of black metal listening, I'm not a huge fan of black metal, as you should know if you've watched this channel at all, but definitely go and check that out. And these next 2 albums here are from bands that I saw live a couple weeks ago. Headlining was Bring Me the Horizon. This is their new band, Ammo, put out on Columbia Records. If you've followed Bring Me the Horizon over the years, you know every single album they release is different from the previous one. And if you followed the band through that whole time, this album should be of no surprise to you. This primarily is a pop album. There are still some guitar-driven songs like the first 2 singles, Mantra and Wonderful Life, along with heavy metal and Sugar, Honey, Ice, and Tea. But for the most part, this is an electronic pop album. It would fit in with a lot of the top 40 pop stuff that's playing on the radio. But in saying that, I don't think it's all bad. You got Nihilist Blues, which features the pop artist Grimes, so that song has a lot more darker industrial stuff. Medicine, Why You Gotta Kick Me When I'm Down, Mother Tongue, and then the song which I just mentioned a bit ago, Heavy Metal. It features the beatboxer Razzle, and that song is actually kind of like tongue-in-cheek, poking at how all the fans talk shit about how this band isn't a death metal or a deathcore band anymore. And you know, they gave it a good spin. Like, the heaviest part on this entire album was ironically put, I shouldn't say ironically, it was intentionally put at the end of Heavy Metal. You know, the only real screaming is towards the final couple of seconds in that song. And then one song that got my hopes up way too high was the song Wonderful Life, which was the second single. It features Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth. And when I saw that, that immediately set my hopes way too high, because I thought there was going to be like some actual, like, incredibly heavy screaming stuff in there. And overall, for a song entirely, Wonderful Life is the heaviest song on this record. It's basically almost like a nu metal song. Danny Filth doesn't do any screaming at all, which is unfortunate, but his feature definitely adds something to the song. And then this is the booklet they put in. Now, it's just a little half-size booklet. they make it look like it was torn up, which is something that you can also see on the side and the back of the album. And it's almost like a J card with how tiny the lyrics are. As you can see right here, some of it's barely legible. But overall, for how Bring Me the Horizon has evolved over their entire career, you know, it doesn't surprise me that they released an album that's almost entirely pop music, and I very much enjoy it. And this next album is by a band called Fever 333, called Strength in Numbers. This band, along with Thrice, was opening for Bring Me the Horizon, and Thrice sucked, but Fever 333 was an incredible band. Put on a great live performance, and as soon as their set was over, I went to their merch table and bought this CD. This is a hardcore type band. Some people are calling it rapcore, and there's some new metal influences in there as well. Now, people have compared them a lot to Linkin Park, as well as a band like Rage Against the Machine. This band speaks a lot on social issues. This came out in January as well. I think it came out on the same day as that Bring Me the Horizon album. Speak a lot on social issues, just like a lot of hardcore bands did, but you know, back in the 80s and all the way up till today. I can't really compare it to any hardcore bands because I don't really listen to it. I think like a less punk Casualties would be a good comparison. I've seen a lot of people comparing this to Linkin Park, which not bad, but like more of the first couple Linkin Park albums would be a more fair comparison for Strength in Numbers. And Fever 333 is a band that has blown up quite a bit. Last year they released the Made in America EP, and then they toured with The Used, then they toured with Bring Me the Horizon, and just today they actually announced that they're opening for the Korn and Alice in Chains co-headlining tour that's happening from July all the way through September. So this band has definitely been on a lot of people's radars. I say, even though I can't really compare it, I know a lot of people don't like Linkin Park or Rage Against the Machine or even Casualties. You know, I know a lot of people talk shit about those bands, but give this one a listen. Don't necessarily let those comparisons get to you and turn them off. I think that'd be like the dumbest thing you could do, because that's actually what I had done initially. Because when the band came out last year with Made in America, that was kind of my thought. You know, I saw those comparisons and I was like, fuck that shit, I don't want to listen. Then I saw them live, listened to the album, and I thought, oh shit, this is pretty good. And if you're a fan of metalcore or post-hardcore, it's not similar at all, but the vocalist for this band, Jason Alan Butler, used to be the vocalist for the post-hardcore, metalcore band, whatever, called Let Live. And they were pretty prominent. They were never super popular. But I think that's also part of the reason why people found out about them, because they saw that he was doing a new project. Next up, Avril Lavigne. This is Head Above Water. Her 6th full-length album. First in over 5 years. She had battled Lyme disease for a couple of years, which prevented her from touring off of her self-titled record, which was released in 2013 towards the end of it. She wasn't able to make any music because of it. She was basically stuck in bed for a solid couple of years. And then once she got mostly over it in like 2015 or 16, that was when she got back to writing music. She released the song Fly in 2015, and then she released the single, which was the first single, which was the title track, Head Above Water. Came out in September of last year, and then this one came out last week, Head Above Water. And I've seen a lot of things where people are saying that she's gone pop, which is a weird thing for me to hear, considering her last couple of albums were very much on the pop side as opposed to the pop punk that she was known for when she first became successful. But, you know, a lot of the songs on here, they're very stripped back in compared to anything she's done before. It's very much acoustic guitar, drums, piano, orchestras in quite a few of the songs. The song that is most like her previous work is the song Dumb Blonde, which actually has a feature from Nicki Minaj, and somehow it does not fuck up the song. I went in with very low expectations, but it turned out to be good overall. And then I guess like some of the song Bigger Wow. So those two songs, Dumb Blonde and Bigger Wow, those are the most similar to her previous stuff. But then, you know, there's plenty of good songs like the title track, first single, Head Above Water, Love Me Insane, Warrior, Crush. I think I've always loved Avril Lavigne's stuff. Now I think that this is a solid addition to her discography. I'd love to see her tour again because I really do want to see her live. I never have. And even though I feel like she probably would almost exclusively play songs from that album, I'd still probably go in and enjoy it. Next up, a live album. The Pursuit of Vikings by Amon Amarth. Put out towards the end of last year. The vinyl version just has one of the live sets. It was performed at Summer Breeze. This is the main stage performance. They also played the T stage, my bad, on orange vinyl, semi-translucent, double LP. They also played the T stage, and if you got basically any other version, if you got the DVD or the box set, which I am getting, you know, stuff like that, it came with both performances. And the T-Stage performance was only one song less, but 17 songs, I believe, in total across these two LPs. I actually got to see Amon Amarth when they released Yams Viking in 2016. I saw them all 3 times they came to Colorado. I can't remember exactly if this was a set list that I saw either of the 2 times that they were headlining. The 3rd time they were opening for Megadeth. But, you know, they've got some classics on here. As well as some new songs like The Way of Vikings, At Dawn's First Light, and then like I said, the classics, Cry of the Blackbirds, Pursuit of Vikings, which is what this is named of. And then there was also a documentary that was released with it, and I'll go over this in more detail in a different video when I get the box set. So that's all I'll talk about it for now. And then these final 3 LPs, I'm not going to talk about a whole lot. I'm mainly going to show them off because they are still available. And if you're a fan of death metal, you definitely do want to pick these up. These here are the Death Anniversary reissues. Leprosy, Individual Thought Patterns, and The Sound of Perseverance. Up first is Leprosy, 30th Anniversary. Gatefold, double LP, features the album along with rehearsals. 2 rehearsals, Leprosy from September 23rd, 1987 and December 5th, 1987. 10 songs. And everything on all the exclusive stuff, like the rehearsals and the live stuff, which I'll talk about in a bit, they all sound incredible. They were all produced pretty well. Came on this milky clear vinyl, Leprosy did. And every single one of these is limited to 5,000 copies on Relapse Records. And the reason I'm showing them is because they came out last year and they are still available. So if you want, you can still get these. They're going to be a bit more on the pricier side because they are double LPs, and then The Sound of Perseverance is a triple LP. So it'll hurt your wallet a bit, but if you really want them, you're probably not going to mind that much. 25th anniversary of Individual Thought Patterns. Gatefold as well. And then the second LP in this one is Live from Germany. And there's only one song from Individual Thought Patterns that was included on this live performance. The other songs are from all the 4 previous albums. And this one came on this silver LP, double LP as well. Individual Thought Patterns was the first Death album that I ever listened to, so I always, whenever someone asks me what my favorite Death album is, I usually gravitate towards this one. Just because when you listen to the first album of a band, even if it ends up being the worst album that a band puts out, if it was a band, especially like one that got you into a specific type of music, you'll always be partial to that album. So there's that one, and then the final one, 20th anniversary of The Sound of Perseverance. This one is a triple LP. The album couldn't fit onto one record, so they obviously had to do a double LP for the standard album. And then this one features demos for the album, 7 songs, Painkiller, and then one other song. I'm not really going to look too hard. Painkiller, the Judas Priest cover, and one other song was not on the demos. Sounds good overall. And then this one came on a darker, almost light olive green color. But yeah, like I said, every single one of these releases that I just showed is limited to 5,000 copies, and there are still some available. I thought they would sell out in a fucking heartbeat, especially Leprosy, because whenever Relapse Records does the Death reissues, Leprosy is always the first one to sell out. So yeah, if you like Death, if you're up for anniversary reissues in general, shit like that, if you want to get any of these albums on vinyl for the first time, if you haven't yet, be quick about it. I don't know if that's the right thing to say though, because these came out in July and they're still available. So I'd still say get them sooner than later, because you don't know when they're going to sell out. But that is going to conclude this video. Links for stuff will be in the description below. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for liking, thanks for commenting, subscribing, all that. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.